talking with some of my students about shades of meaning, and there are lots of sites online with synonyms and antonyms, and what that means is words that mean the same and words that mean the opposite. So this is a good way to find extra words to practice those shades of meaning with. So we're looking here at fun, and when we do shades of meaning, we go from something that's really, really fun to just a little bit fun, or we can push it even further than that. We can go from something that's really, really fun to really, really not fun. So if we look among the synonyms and the related words, we don't even need to know what they all mean. We can pick out the ones that we're familiar with, and you might like to practice this at home. So let's look for two words that mean something similar to fun, synonyms or related words, and three words that mean something opposite, near antonyms and antonyms. Antonyms means opposites. So we've got fun, and then we could have amusing. Most of us know what amusing means, so that's a fairly good one to pick. And then we could have, I saw it somewhere, sure I saw exciting in there. Here it is. They're not alphabetical, that's why it's hard to find. Exciting. So I think most of you would agree that amusing and fun are pretty much on a par. It's hard to say which would be more fun than the other. I think they're about as fun as each other. But I think once we get to exciting, it's probably more fun than just if we use the word fun. So we would probably have exciting at one end of our shades of meaning lineup, and then we would have fun and amusing, perhaps beside each other to show they're equal. Now let's look at the unfun or not fun things. So unpleasant. I think most of us have heard the word unpleasant. So that just means, yeah, fairly uncool. Boring. I wonder which is worse, unpleasant or boring. Depends how bored you are. If you're just a little bit bored, I'm going to say unpleasant's worse. But then let's look for a really, really nasty kind of unfun thing. Just looking at all these words here. I think tedious is kind of an extreme version of boring rather than an extreme version of unfun. I'm going to say horrible. It's not here, but I think if something's really unfun, it's horrible. I think that's a fairly strong word. So you can do that. You can look at these synonyms and antonyms with your family and try and think of words that are more of whichever word you choose and words that are less, and try and put them in order from the most to the least. That's another word we could look up in here. Let's go for angry. Oops, why do I have a word of the day? I want angry. Skip the word of the day. Angry. Okay, so we've got some synonyms and antonyms here. Ooh, ballistic. That's super angry. We've got a strong one. So we've got angry, we've got ballistic. Irate. Irate and ballistic are both pretty strong, but I'm going to say ballistic, which actually applies to missiles as well. So angry you start flying through the air. That's probably even worse than irate. So I'm going to say angry, irate, ballistic. Gets more extreme as I go through those three words. So what's going to be opposite? Angerless, delighted, pleased. So if you're just angerless, that's just not angry. But if you're delighted or pleased, you're really, really not angry. You're quite opposite of angry. But then again, you could go with these kind of ones. The serene, and presumably there's going to be calm there somewhere. I think calm is, to my way of thinking, more opposite of anger than delighted or pleased is. So I'm going to say angerless is just not angry. Calm is calmer than not angry. And serene or tranquil is super, super restfully calm. So they would probably be at the other end of my lineup. So if you want to practice those shades of meaning sometime, do this with a family member. Go to a list of synonyms and antonyms and have some practice.